Now, on to the very serious news about the madman running and ruining our country. You know, the guy who has made us all feel like foreigners in our own country? Or haven't you seen the latest poll that proves a majority of Americans don't even recognize or feel comfortable in America anymore? Today's column, or in this case, the video, is all about the reason why. It's a 5-letter word, Obama. The news involving Obama and what he's doing to this country gets stranger every day and more dangerous every day, more shocking every day. Obama says ISIS is contained, and the very next day, 130 people are dead in a massive, frightening ISIS attack in Paris. Within days of that, there's another terrible radical Islamic terrorist attack in Mali, and still Obama can't use the word Islamic and terrorist in the same sentence. Obama refuses to back down. He asks for even more Syrian refugees. At the same time, Obama is demanding we import dangerous Muslim refugees. It turns out he's sending Iraqi Christians back. He talks about compassion for Muslim refugees, but he deports Christians out of the United States. During the same one-week period, Russia reports Obama's policies actually were helpful to ISIS. What American president would do these things or say these things? It's all so strange and unsettling. It sure feels like something is very wrong. It sure feels like we're being sold down the river. In the past 48 hours, I've heard from dozens of friends and associates telling me, every one of them, they all fear we have a Muslim in the White House. They're panicked, they're frightened, they're in shock, many for the first time, about the danger our country is in. Bill O'Reilly came out the other night and suggested mental illness. He asked if Obama is delusional. If you don't believe he's delusional or mentally ill, what other plausible answer is there for his strange behavior? Now, before we come to any conclusions, let's first look at a few of Obama's statements and actions. He can't even say the words Islamic and terrorist in the same sentence. Unbelievable. That's number one. He won't join France and Russia in a serious war against ISIS. Putin and Allyn both know it. Our own pilots report that Obama's policies block 75% of airstrikes against ISIS. So Obama's tough talk about bombing ISIS is just like his famous quote, if you like your insurance, you can keep your insurance. It's just another lie. He left our borders wide open. 8 illegals from Syria were just caught at the Texas border, and an unusual number of Middle Eastern military males have been caught at the San Diego border. For every one caught, how many have sneaked in? 10, 20, 50, 100, thousands? Ironically, they don't really need to sneak in because Obama's inviting them in. He's already brought hundreds of thousands of Muslim immigrants into this country, about 200,000 a year or more, during his presidency. He wants thousands of Syrian refugees resettled here. Syrian. Say that word slowly. Syrian. Understand its meaning. Terrorists from ISIS lurk among these strangers coming into our country, forced down our throats. Keep in mind, it was an Islamic terrorist leader who recently bragged over 4,000 terrorists have been smuggled into Europe disguised as refugees. That's how they're coming. Obama's own DHS and FBI has publicly admitted we cannot vet the incoming Muslim refugees. The FBI director says, Obama's FBI director says, we have no records. There's no way to distinguish between moderates and extremists and terrorists. But Obama doesn't care what his citizens think. He doesn't care what his governors think. Obama's State Department said recently governors have no say on who he chooses to dump in their state. Obama announced he'll veto Congress. Can you imagine this? If they dare to require tougher screening of Syrian immigrants. Obama is so extreme in his thinking about Syrian refugees that the House ignored that threat and voted with a veto-proof majority. Good for them. An unheard of 47 Democrats voted against Obama because even Democrats now understand on the topic of fighting radical Islam, our president has gone off the rails. Something's very wrong. More signs of Obama's Islam problem. He agreed to the worst, most lopsided treaty in world history with Iran, a treaty that makes it a certainty that extreme radical Iranian mullahs will have a nuclear bomb. As a bonus, Obama gave this terrorist regime $150, funds that will undoubtedly be used to fund terrorism all over the world, because that's what Iran always does. And amazingly, Obama even promised that the U.S. would protect Iran's nuclear facilities from Israeli attacks. Obama's own former advisor admits he purposely alienated the U.S. from Israel to win the trust of Iran. What other world leader would want to win the trust and support of a terrorist regime? Obama leaped at the chance to bring a Muslim boy to the White House who was accused of building a bomb out of a clock, yet he's never once thought to bring the young child of a Marine or a Navy SEAL or a police officer killed in action to the White House. Strange choice, don't you think? Obama ordered his EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, to take the side of Muslim delivery truck drivers who refused to deliver beer. Our own government forced companies to pay $240,000 reward money to Muslims in our country hired to do a job that they knew about in advance that they refused to do based on their laws, not ours. Obama took their side. Obama even recently proposed, get this one, banning pork at federal prisons. I'm not joking. What president would get involved in a decision about pork? Obama's paralyzed with indecision about how to stop ISIS. He refuses to ban refugees from Middle Eastern war zones who might be terrorists, but he's perfectly happy to ban pork. Bizarre behavior. Something's very wrong. In his book, Obama said the sweetest sound he knows is the Muslim call to prayer. And in a speech at the UN, he said, the future must not belong to those who slander the Prophet of Islam. I think he likes to play with us, but increasingly, it's become a game of life and death for us and our children. Mr. Obama, I know your life's about defending Islam, yet the murder or persecution of Christians all over the world at the hand of Muslims doesn't interest you at all. I know your plans to defeat ISIS appear to have helped them grow stronger. Even Russia says that. I know your response to ISIS and Islamic terrorism is not normal or rational. Russia's Putin and France's Hollande both respond like leaders. Can you imagine? I'm proud of Putin and I'm ashamed of my president. I know you respond like a man too conflicted and too compromised to lead the fight against our radical Muslim enemies. You can't bring yourself to stand against Muslim extremism, even as Muslim crowds in moderate Turkey boo and chant Allahu Akbar during a moment of silence for the victims of the Paris attack. What I know is that you're not on our side. I know you're compromised and you are corrupted. I know you are a biased Muslim sympathizer, the likes of which we've never seen in the White House in history. I know removing Obama from office is a matter of grave national security. I'm Wayne Allyn for Personal Liberty. God bless America and God save America. Bye-bye.